Oh man, where do I begin? I got engaged 6 months after dating her for 3 years, and just had to break it off last week. She works for a very large financial institution and was usually out of the house until late at night. I didn't think anything was going on because I understood the nature of her job. This was her routine for our whole engagement. I would say a month ago, however, her behavior started to change. She was getting home really late at night, probably around midnight, and still getting up at 6:30 for work. I found this strange because there was no change in her job title, and in the past she rarely had to stay that late for work. Also, when I did see her around the house, she seemed uninterested in talking and was glued to her phone. Again, this was very unusual behavior. I had no solid proof, but I started to grow suspicious. Finally, just a week ago, she came back again around midnight. I happened to still be up and I just asked politely where she had been. I noticed right away she was drunk. The story was that her boss had her go to a late dinner, but it was full of holes, and at this point I knew something was going on. After she went to bed, I looked in her phone and I found out she was texting her friend at work about going on dates, hiding stuff from me, and other shady things. In the morning we had a huge argument, where I wanted to know why she cheated on me. It came down to her being bored with our sex and wanting to be with other guys to make things more interesting. This was shocking and hurt me deeply. I asked her to leave, got the ring back, and cut ties completely. I'm not even sure how much of a loss I'll take from waiting this long to sell them. At least we won't have any legal difficulties going forward. I'm trying to look for any positives right now. The whole explanation of her wanting to cheat still upsets me. I never got a full explanation of why our sex was boring. I really don't understand why our sex wasn't good enough. I've studied the Kama Sutra and Tantra for a few years and have many of my own techniques. Most of what I am describing is very advanced. Usually I can hit the G-spot when I'm out from the back and take wide squats in, and I can frog from underneath while using my hips as well. I'm good with my fingers from playing guitar, plus my oral skills are developed. Long story short, this is something I've practiced. I don't know if this guy was better than me or what, but it's truly sickening to think she ruined our potential marriage over such an immature desire. I saw on her social media that now she's dating this new guy, and I wonder how long until she does the same to him. I'm starting to feel a little better, but I'm still processing everything. I wanted to share this with everyone here to get some feedback. I feel a little crazy because I have nobody to talk to. If anyone has been cheated on like this before, hopefully you can shed some light on my situation. Here are some of the best comments. I'm really sorry you're going through this. And by the way you tell the story, their excuse has nothing to do with you. You could have been the best at whatever sexual act, and it would have never have been what they wanted. Sex is as much of a mental connection as it is a physical one. People who cheat don't do so because someone else is better at the physical stuff. They cheat because of whatever fucked up connection or validation they are seeking from someone else. The physical piece of the equation is just how it all ends up spelling out the mental stuff. I recognize you're not here for an explanation, and I really don't want my comment to come off as a lecture. I'm saying these things because I want you to know that your fiancé cheating is because they are unable to communicate what they want, they lack the maturity to have a healthy relationship with others, and are incapable of taking responsibility for their actions. It's 1,000 times easier to say the sex was boring instead of admitting their faults. Don't fall into their bullshit. It's not about you at all, it never was. Ghost her and delete everything about her. You should feel sorry for the poor soul that married her. She will never be satisfied, probably will fuck half the men in your town and feel empty. You did the right thing. You're better off with her. It's not your skills at sex, she is probably the type that does these things. Don't be too upset about her cheating, just be happy you weren't married when you found this type of behavior now instead of later. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's got that take from the post. However, while I agree wholeheartedly with you up to and including there's a fucking problem, I'm not going along with your last 3 sentences, at least, not necessarily. From the info we have, we don't know how she wants/needs to have sex, all we do know is that it's not like Op does it. Sure, she might want to be fucked like an animal, but equally possibly, she might want to take a dominant role, or any of a practical infinity of other options. Op clearly has some issues to resolve regarding his own approach to sex, and is anyone else scratching their head at an immature desire? But we mustn't urge that he take a brutally dominant stance going forward, in any hypothetical resumption of their relationship when we don't have anything to say that this is how his erstwhile fiancé wants to do the deed. Yes, I've been there as my wife of almost 18 years cheated on me early on in our relationship before even being engaged. No matter the title you carry with your spouse, it's still a deep and saddening pain that will resurface for years to come. Well, I guess that's only true if you're to stay with them. In any case, it's a feeling not soon shook, but has to be dealt with in order to move forward into another relationship, or your next doesn't really have a fair shot at being successful. You're a better person by any stretch of the sense, and that'll be someone's gift to receive once your girlfriend turns into your best friend than into your soulmate. Then your wife in the future will be so much more than that, and always will be your best friend. Hey, I understand your questions and your frustration and outrage. I have been cheated on not long ago. The horrible thing is that I am married and have 2 kids. As you see, you are lucky you got all that true out before getting involved with a weak, deceitful person. I also ask myself why very often. Sexually, mentally, and emotionally I feel strong. The people with whom he cheated me with are so low that I actually would have felt nothing if he had stayed with them. Sometimes the problem is only on the cheater. And even if it is a common saying that when someone cheats, it's the 2 in the relationship who have their part on it, I think my only part on it was putting up with so much of his mean and selfish behavior for so long. Some people just need to reconsider their whole life perspective in order to achieve some fulfillment in their lives. Your ex-fiancé is definitely not on her way to have a good life. So whoever she is dating, you should be thankful is not you. The anger and pain are enormous. That I know. Imagine to think, I was pregnant taking care of my toddler while he had his fun outside. Sometimes I feel I am all flames of rage inside. But whatever. I feel super strong too. I don't feel depressed at all. Our experiences mold our character, and bad experiences teach us the most and prepare us for a life that is not easy. Never. All the best on picking up your pieces. Hang in there.